Hello everybody, thank you very much for being here. We'll start our questions and answer with the directors right now. I would like to ask our lovely directors to come on stage, please. And a round of applause. Thank you. First of all, I would like to ask you to present yourselves and your films, please.
I'm Samuel Pericavi. I'm the director of Money Game Part 3, a music video by Ren.
Hello, my name is Margosian. I did No Light, No Darkness.
I would like to start by asking the audience if you have any questions to the directors.
Question for Blondie. What's your workflow like when you're making a video like that?
So me and Ren have worked together for like 12 years now. So it's a very like collaborative process. Like he'll come to me with generally a song, but often it's like through the process of creating the song, we're creating the visuals with it. So as he creates the music, he's coming up with a lot of the ideas. Whereas, like sometimes I'll come in early, like right, I want to make this idea, and we'll create it from there, and he'll create the song alongside it. Because lots of our kind of projects are very kind of derivative of having like the visuals alongside the music, and kind of it's more of a piece than one or the other. With this one, we just ended up having like quite a few calls. The song changed according to like the video ideas, so it's quite a like back and forth process. It's not kind of linear like a usual music video kind of generally is. And then yeah, it's like developing and how we can process that. Like the rain and the things at the end, we kind of decided to do like the week before we ended up shooting and things like that. So it's like always changing and always developing, and the songs are changing with it. And as it's a live piece and the audios are recorded live as well, so it's kind of, we have a little bit of space to kind of adapt as we're going with the project.
Yes.
What inspired you to make that movie?
Well, it's kind of a topic we've been exploring for quite a while. So we made a very similar kind of project about 5 years ago now, the Money Game Part 1. And so that was really like looking at, you know, the whole kind of influence of money and how that kind of affects everyday life. And then this one kind of, the influence kind of came with, Ren really wanted to make a piece of like the rise and fall and demise of a character. He was really inspired by like the stories of like Breaking Bad and projects like that. And so we really wanted to kind of fit that into this world we kind of created of exploring the use of money and like how big an influence that is on people's lives and how it can be so damaging, and if that is your pursuit. So that was kind of our like direction and influence.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, the film looks like just one shot, no more than two. I would like to know how much time you spend on rehearsing and how many takes you do.
So yeah, there's a few shots in there, but there's 2 hidden cuts. But in terms of rehearsals, it's so I went to Canada and stayed with Ren for like 3 weeks, where we kind of blocked it all out, worked out the majority of the movements and kind of the process there. But then we didn't really have much time on the day to do like active rehearsals. We only had like the day before to kind of actually like rehearse with Ren and the Steadicam op, and we only had the extras the day of shooting. So we were rehearsing in the morning and then shot it that afternoon. I think in terms of takes, the first section was the bit that took the longest because the piano is so intricate. And not being able to kind of see what you're doing with the bag on your head is always a bit challenging. So yeah, I think it was like a day of rehearsing like camera movements, and then we had like half a day with the extras, and then we filmed it over half a day, and then had half a day D-rig. So it was only really over 2.5 days that we managed to kind of put it off.
If it's not too much, I'd like to ask, your film was No Light, No Darkness,
Yes,
correct?
correct.
What's the experience like filming in Armenia? Are they like the people in New York where everybody's gonna stand around and gawk, or?
A little bit of that, but what's interesting is we were in a lot of further regions out where there's like no one there, up in around, I don't know, like 3,000 meters, like, and on the mountainside, and you get a couple local villagers that will drive down literally in your shot and just stop in front and be like, what's going on? And you're like, we're filming, and they're like, cool, and they just stay for a while. Like, so it was cool they got out of the way when you tell them to get out of the way, but they'll stay for the whole filming set. Like, they have no, but then they offer a lot of stuff. Like, they're like, hey, why don't you guys come over to the house and have some food with us and everything to the whole crew. So it's super nice, but also the, you know, sense of space and boundaries, it's a little tricky, yeah.
I saw you did a Kickstarter.
Yeah.
What was the experience with that as a people from the Armenian community?
Yeah, it was a lot of Armenian community in the U.S. We kind of did it a little bit in an interesting way. It's a joint effort with Armenian production and U.S. production, and so we kind of did open it up to Kickstarter for a portion of it, but we had the funding in Armenia as well. It was good, but it's you know it's such a tight community, so they were able to support it, and you know the goal is a lot of those eras in 1990, post-Soviet, pre-Soviet like time. A lot of those stories aren't available or told, so they kind of they really want to see those things happen. So yeah.
We have time for one last question. Yes?
I'd like to ask you how you got into being a director and why do you enjoy it?
That's a good question. So actually, I came from a cinematography background. I started off as a cinematographer, and then in the last 5 years, kind of ventured off with telling stories, and specifically me being Armenian, I wanted to tell more Armenian stories that were kind of neglected or looked under empires and different governments that had kind of taken over the Armenian people. So I wanted to explore those ideas. So that's honestly how it started. And this was kind of a historical fiction a little bit. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that's actually rooted in accuracy, but you know, the characters being completely not real. So yeah, that's how it started.
Would you consider yourself an activist artist?
You know what it is? I feel like there aren't that many Armenian directors that can have a voice, and I felt that, you know, storytelling is one of the best ways to kind of have a voice and tell the story for people. So that's how I felt. Yeah.
Well done.
Thank you very much for being here. Thank you for our amazing directors for being here. I would like to remind you that tonight we have our after party at Le Disquaire, so you're more than welcome to join us. And also that our directors are always available to exchange ideas with you, so if you ever find them around, please, they will be more than glad to answer all your questions in person. Thank you very much for being here.